If you want 2026 to be the best and most remarkable year of your life with complete and utter transformation in so many different aspects of your life, then stick around because I'm going to show you a tunnel, a secret pathway to help you get the two things you need more than anything else to achieve remarkable results. You need the right goals and you need incredible people in your life. And at the end of this video, I'm going to introduce you to our 3-word goal architect, which is an amazing tool that will help you set goals that will absolutely rock your world and change your life next year. All right, everybody can start winning. If we jump in here and look at the mountain and the tunnel. Normally when we have a goal, we have to go through a series of obstacles. The track up the mountain is tough. And it's very variable, and there are all sorts of things that will get in the way. There is distraction, there is noise, and there is overwhelm. Your greatest fear is that this year will just repeat like all the other years, and you'll end up in exactly the same space, and you'll never climb the mountain where you're earning incredible money, you build incredible relationships, and you make the impact that you know you deserve. The life that you want is still possible, if only you can achieve all of these things. And we know that it's possible because you deserve freedom, you deserve influence, and you also deserve ease. But the truth is, you won't get there taking the regular path that you've taken every other year. In fact, it's time to do something different. The fastest way for you to achieve everything that you want in 2026 is to take this tunnel, this straight shot with us. And it's based on 3 things. It's based on goals, it's based on relationships, and it's based on community. You thought, if I just stay focused, if I just muscle it, if I just work the hours, if I just keep going, I will get there. But the truth is, it hasn't worked so far and it won't work this time. The key for you succeeding next year is to take this tunnel, to stay deeply connected to your goals and to build the right relationships with the right people, because one conversation can dramatically alter the course of your life. Everyone on our call had different goals. Some wanted peace of mind, some wanted health, some wanted time with family, some wanted to make more money, some wanted a promotion, some wanted to transform utterly in many different areas. But underneath it all, everybody had the same fear. And the fear is that this year and next year will be exactly the same. Remember, you just need 3 things to see massive success in 2026. You need clear goals, and you need the right people in your life to help you build and chase those goals, and you need the kind of community that keeps you focused and holds you accountable. So let's jump in and look at the concept of 3-word goals, because this concept has changed my life dramatically. I'm very close to being the fittest, strongest, fastest I've ever been in my life at 50 years of age. Incredible transformation can happen in your business, can happen in your creative life, can happen in your relational life, it can happen with your reputation. Change and transformation is possible, but you have to set a goal and you have to know exactly what you're going to go after and how you're going to get there. The problem with traditional goals is we often set them and then we forget them by February. We set them and then we give up because they don't seem possible. Or we set goals, but we have not established a clear pathway to see them come into fruition. It's like a wish, but there's no clarity on how to get there. 18 months ago, I took my 13-year-old fishing. I had to walk over about 300 yards of little bumpy rocks. And by the time I got there, I was out of breath. My chest hurt. My back hurt. I sat down for an hour and I thought I was going to have a coronary. And it was at that moment, sitting on that rock, that I got my very first 3-word goal. A thought popped into my head. Fittest at 50. What if in 18 months I could turn my life around and become the fittest, strongest and fastest I'd ever been in my life at 50? And I quickly realized that this process of setting goals was so important. And when we set goals, it's important that you don't set goals that are too small. Don't set goals that if you achieve them, they wouldn't dramatically alter or change or transform the course of your life. Set goals that scare you. Set goals that are meaningful to you. Set goals that really cause you to take action. Let's have a look at our 3-word goal system. So if we jump in here to the 3-word goal flywheel, you'll see that the central goal The anchoring goal for your life and your business is your physical goal. If you don't have a body, you don't have a life. And so we must make sure that the anchoring goal is the physical transformation you want to have happen with your body. You'll see mine here, fittest at 50, right? Then we have financial goals, right? Then we have relational goals. This is fully alive dad. These are my goals. Then we have a business goal, which is 200 wonderful clients. Then we have a reputation goal. I want to do world famous work, right? Then we have a creative goal. I want to have a deeply prophetic voice, a voice that actually causes people to change and grow. Then we want to have a fun life. I want to be wild and free and have the most amazing life possible. So all of these three were goals. These are mine and they mean something to me. They don't have to mean anything to anyone else, but they have to mean something to you. They are in every way meaningful, they're in every way transformational, and they're in every way unforgettable. If your goals don't scare you a little bit, they're not goals, they're wishes. When you have goals and you have a plan, then you have a pathway forward that can dramatically alter your life. Let me just quickly show you one of the ways in which we help create that route. So if we look at this here, the destination is for you to be the very best version of you by the end of 2026. The one who's in the best physical shape, the best financial shape, the best relational shape you can be in, the best business shape you can be in, the best reputation shape you can be in, highly creative and having the most fun and amazing life, right? But we set goals in those areas, but how do you know you're going to get there? And so we want to break them down into provable milestones, proof goals. And so we break this down. So physical, to be the fittest I've ever been at 50, I have to achieve certain things to get there, right? Maybe I have to be able to do 50 pull-ups on my 50th birthday. If I can do 50 pull-ups on my 50th birthday, I'm indeed the fittest I've ever been at 50, right? Financial goals, what do you have to do to get there? Maybe I have to do one daily sale. And this is different for everyone, but we create goals that make sure that if you achieve them, you will become what you want to become here. Then we look at monthly, like what does it take to do 50 pull-ups? Maybe one month I have to do 10, and then the next month I have to get to 20, the next month I have to get to 30. Again, we have really good tools to help you get there. And then you want to break it down. What are the tasks to get to 10 pull-ups? I got to do 3 sets 3 times a week this week, all right? And we create daily tasks. And when we create tasks that align with our goals, that are kind in helping us make progress. The tunnel had 3 components. It had goals, it had people, and it had community. So we've set goals, but you won't reach those goals unless you're surrounded by the right people, the people with expertise, the people with energy, the people who can fund everything that you need to get there. You don't need a lot, but you need to have the right deep relationships with the right people. If you play the volume game, you got to hustle and go wide. But if you play the depth game, you can go deep with just a few people and see extraordinary results. Jennifer, who with 150 contacts does $100 million in real estate production a year. Why? Because she's gone deep with a few rather than wide with the multitudes. If we come in here and just have a very quick pass of the formula that you need to reach all of your goals, you need fuel. And the fuel to reach all your goals is your conversations. We call them compelling conversations. And these conversations, they get you energized and they get you the things that you need. And you need to have about 50 of those a week. This is our formula that we use as well. You need to have supply, and supply is you just need to have the right people in your life. You can't sell ice cream to Eskimos, but you can certainly sell ice cream in the Sahara Desert. So you need the right people. You need what we call catalytic connections, and you need 100 of those. And you need to have the right support, and we call those co-creators. These kinds of people can give you 1 to 2 pieces of business a year if they're committed. So we need committed co-creators, and we need 20 of them. So that 50, 120 formula works every single time if the people you're connecting to are aligned to your goals. Which one of those 3 metrics would make the biggest difference to your life right now? Conversations, connections, or co-creators? And what we see time and time again is co-creators. 20 co-creators can really push you into a state of flow and transform your life because you're no longer having to hustle all by yourself. And our goal is for you and anyone else that we're working with before the end of January to have 20 powerful co-creative relationships in your community, in your niche, where these people get you speaking engagements, they get you in front of the right people, they give you all the support you need, they partner with you in ways you haven't even imagined yet, and they give you at least 1 to 2 pieces of business each year. Tanya has one person who's given her 18 pieces of business. So on our call today, we identified a bunch of people who have partnership potential, where one relationship could leverage your business and your life in really powerful ways. People who are aligned with your goals and have the influence over others. And if we looked here, we got you guys to send them this particular message. Hey, first name, I'm setting out some really big goals for 2026 and I want to do XYZ. I want to grab a coffee next week and talk about how we can help each other more in 2026. If you're watching this, stop what you're doing, pause the video and send 3 people on your list this particular message. Remember the 3 things you need to make 2026 the best year of your life. You need really specific goals. You need the right people, and you also need community. Let's jump in and have a look at why community is so vital to keep you going on that short path through the tunnel to the life that you want. We call it the distraction map. The goal is for you to have the very best life ever in 2026. However, things are going to get in the way, and the things that get in the way are other people's problems, bright shiny rabbits, other people's suggestions for fast success that really don't require any depth at all, and life emergencies which allow us to stop pursuing our goals. These are the outside forces, but there are some inside forces also right here. And the inside forces can include things like insecurity, doubt, and self-sabotage. And the reason community is so important is that it will give you momentum to stay focused on working relationally and staying deep and working with influential people who deserve your attention. Most people will fail at life, not because they're not talented, not because they're not skilled, but because they're not surrounding themselves with the kinds of people who elevate them and lift them up. Or we feel like we have to appeal or appease other people rather than having clear boundaries and saying, within this bucket, I'm giving my whole self powerfully to these people, but outside of the bucket, that is not my area of responsibility. And when we are able to stay focused, we have huge alignment and we can create huge momentum. What I don't want for you in 2026 is more of the same. I don't want you to be overcome with distraction. I don't want the noise of the world and the politics of the day to stop you from living the life you're supposed to live. And I don't want you to get overwhelmed by all there is to do. I know that it's important, critical even, that you reach all of your goals, that you have the life that you want, the freedom that you want, and the influence you want, and the community and the relationships that you need. And I promise you, if it's all about effort, you're going to come unstuck. And so please consider joining us in setting powerful 3-word goals, staying focused on all the relationships you need, and being part of a community that says simple is the way to go. Relationships are what is needed, and your goals matter. If something here hit you, if you are tired of doing this all alone, if it is imperative that 2026 is in fact the greatest year of your life to date, then please type the word info underneath this video. I'll get you access to our 3-word goal architect. I'll share more about our environment and our ecosystems that we've created to keep you focused and to guarantee that you succeed. Just put info. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching.